Well, congratulations, Ishaan and Vishal. It is such a pleasure to have you here. It's been so beautiful to see the response Homebound has received. And now you're on your way to the Oscars. How are you both feeling? We could start with you, Vishal.
Oh, so this reality is hitting hard these days. I am realizing this pressure which is coming like from last few days because the date is coming nearby, 22nd. So this nervous energy is there, nervous excitement is there, but still hoping for the best and just feeling blessed and grateful that we could make it till here because even reaching this much is taken a lot. And I would like to thank Dharma Production for this. We made the film. They've been so nice to us throughout the filming of the film. But post that also, these things are very new to all the Indians actually, the campaigning and how to promote our film on international level.
Yeah.
So these things are very new to each and every one of us, and I'm just enjoying the process more than anything. But still, we have eye on the prize.
I'm thrilled. I think everything after the release of the film has been a bonus. This is a film that
Yeah.
I felt really proud of from day one. Just being able to make this story and championing it and being able to tell this story has been rewarding. And um, I think all of this was the one thing that we worked backwards from was trying to make it to Cannes, and everything ever since has just been. Um, it's been a dream. It's been surreal, and I'm really proud of it. And I'm also really proud that this is the film that is representing India on a global stage because it talks of empathy and compassion, and these are things that we need in the fractured world that we're living in today.
On that level, too, I spoke to Neeraj and I was really touched by the fact of hearing his story and being part of the Dalit community, which is considered a marginalized community in India, right? So, Ishan, I'm going to ask you this. What type of an impact did it have on you when you learned about Neeraj's story and that kind of being interplayed into the actual script in this film?
So actually, the very first meeting I had with Neeraj, he, I think, subtly started to induct me into um, his own lived reality, and the fact that he has masqueraded as somebody of the upper caste in order to hide his identity and not have to face the pitfalls, of being a openly Dalit man. Um, that is something that is people may deny it, but the fact that he is the first openly Dalit Hindi filmmaker in over 100 years of cinema is self-explanatory. And I think the reason this film feels so personal is that there is a lot of Neeraj in it. Of course, it is inspired, not inspired, but it's based on the New York Times op-ed piece about Mohammad Sayoub and Amrit Kumar and their journey home. But that essentially became the last chapter of the film, and the entire lives of these two boys, Shoaib and Chandan, were constructed by Neeraj, and he lived with it for 3 years, and he put a lot of lived experiences, not only of his own, but those that he researched, people that he met. He takes a responsibility like this very seriously. He didn't want to rely on imagination. He wanted to borrow from reality, and so he put in the work, he put in the research. We joined him on that process once we were cast. We did an immersive exercise where we spent time in Barabanki and
Yes.
actually met with people and sat in their homes and spoke to them of their lives and even read our scenes there, and he gave us our costumes early on, so we were kind of living in those clothes much before we started shooting the film. So it's been a slow immersion process, and I think that's why the film has turned out the way it is, because it's truly an attempt to empathize and be authentic to the story that we're telling, and not just kind of be manipulative with it, and it's rare to see that kind of effort. And I'm very proud of Neeraj. And I was hungry for an opportunity like this, but once I started working on the film, I realized this story is much bigger than us, and it's much bigger than our personal endeavors and our careers and that. So uh, I've I've been a champion for this film from day one, and I'm really proud that we've reached so far, and I hope we can go the whole haul.
Oh, I hope so too. And that's so beautifully said, how the story is bigger than us. I'm going to jump onto that immersive experience because he had shared that. And Vishal, what type of an impact did that leave on you? How did that help you really feel who your character was?
So we spent around 10 days in village, but apart from that, we started actually with the dialect coaching. So, so the whole workshop took us like 1.5 months. It includes a lot of things. Like we started with dialect coaching. The dialect gives us the culture because in India, you see the culture is so diverse. Then in every 10 kilometers, you see the difference in the language. So we started with dialect coaching. That kind of gave us one feeling and the culture. Um, and the one more most important thing was for Neeraj sir also and for us also to crack the friendship between both of us. So what Neeraj sir took this decision consciously that he wanted us to be friends off screen also, and not on a superficial level where we just become colleague and co-actors to each other and just send them good morning messages or just send us our success stories like, oh, this is what I'm doing. So um, he said, you guys be vulnerable to each other, and so that you guys can be real kind of friends because it takes a lot of time to build real friendship. And to fast track this, he told us to share secret with each other. And we kind of made this one space where we can be who we are without having any fear of judgment. And I met him. We spent 4, 5 hours, and he made a coffee for me, and we shared a lot of secrets. And after that, I could see the difference in our friendship. And according to me, this film has a lot of things to say, but through this relationship between these two friends, which I sometimes call it love relationship between these two friends. So if friendship doesn't work in the film, then the whole film will not work. So that friendship we had to build was kind of part of workshop, but now I'm glad that we are real. We've become real friends. Post that Neeraj sir wanted us to look on screen as real characters. So we had to lose weight. So approx like 10 kgs or something we lost during the shoot of the film.
Wow.
And we went to villages. We spoke to marginalized community, their concerns of the life. And the subject I knew, definitely being in India, I knew about the religious issues that we face, um, and casteism we face. But on a deeper level, I only got to know after doing the film and after meeting Neeraj sir because he has lived experience. So we also wanted to have at least some amount of lived experience. We went to the villages like Ishaan said. I also went to where Chandan lives, and we went there. I sat there with our dialect coach Sridhar Bhai, and we read our scenes together to know that how it feels to be here, and what my character journey would have been. जो मेरे कैरेक्टर की जर्नी रही होगी to assume that and create this backstory the history of my character. So these all things, and then between action and cut some magic happens and we could deliver this.
You both were brilliant. And I say this because there's so many, this film has so many quiet moments, right? Ek taraf se
Mhm.
you're expressing with just your eyes or no dialogue. And then there's moments you're having these very emotional scenes. So I'm very curious to know, as actors for both of you, how did you balance that so that it didn't look like it was over theatrical, yeah, overacting ho rahi hai, right? Like you knew those moments that this is a quiet moment and this is a moment we're going to speak and convey our language. Ishan, was that a challenge for you or is that something that naturally came for you?
I mean, I think it was all on the page, and the silences and the quiet moments, I think, are really the moments where you fill the character with life and with context, um, and in a sense, that is what an actor brings to a part as well. And um, I think that's where all the experiences that we had prepping for this film and slowly kind of dipping ourselves into this world, I think that's where it came through. It wasn't particularly a challenge because I think that's where Neeraj really shines, and the kind of immersive and realistic filmmaking and naturalistic style that he has. That's where it's on full display, and the writing was very precise. The writing was extremely adept and filled with layering, and I think we worked on that every single day. But by the time we were on set, there wasn't much cerebralizing. We were just kind of living, and that's what Neeraj wanted as well. He was very clear about it from day one. He said, "I want you guys to live these roles and not just perform them."
Which is seen. It's definitely not a performance. And we feel, I told Neeraj this yesterday, when you're watching a film like Homebound, it feels like I'm there with you. And it's through the cinematography, but a lot of it is through what we see both of your interaction is. Was this hard for you, Vishal, or did it kind of just come easy in those spaces?
Oh no, so Ishaan correctly said. I totally agree to him because this is what I wanted to say. This on a script level, this film is written so beautifully that if the scene is written very nicely, if an actor comes and he wants to perform and just show who he is, then it kind of mess a lot of things. But the scene is written very beautifully, and you are in your character, you just be there. This is on a craft level, you just be there, you just be your character, and that kind of create magic. Sometimes you don't have to always just go and perform and give your best to catch audience's eye. That is sometimes not required. And scenes where I want to talk about the scene which I really love, which talks about the silence. You see where Chandan Kumar is shifted to Surat for work, and and Shoaib is at his lowest in his life, and one person he thinks of is his friend. He comes to him, and when he comes, this is a very small scene, but it has a deep impact on me also. That is very beautiful according to me. And he comes, and that is kind of definition of a very popular Bollywood Hindi film. The dialogue says, "कि दोस्ती में no sorry, no thank you." So he comes, he just knocks the door. I open the door. He just looks at me, and it is kind of said he kind of said sorry without even saying it. And after a point, I also realized that even Chandan doesn't ask for any kind of explanation. He doesn't say sorry. He's not asking for explanation. This is so beautiful friendship, and that is conveyed in a form of silence. Like I usually call it voice of silence, and that is you can see the voice of silence there, and that is so beautiful. So that is a mixture of two things. One is the beautiful writing, and one is we as an actor, we were just there. We didn't do anything. We were just there in our character.
And you're right. Those scenes, especially those moments, were so powerful. And for my audience who doesn't speak Hindi, in friendship, so basically that line means in friendships, you don't say sorry and you don't say thank you. There's just this
Exactly.
underlying love. I probably only have a few more minutes. I mean, there's so much I could dissect to this. I have one last question, and then I want to do something fun with you guys. Was there something, a moment in the film that maybe as an audience member I might have missed, but for you, it just held so much emotional importance. It could be maybe a gesture, there was a glance. I guess Vishal, you said for you it was that moment, right? Like that in the scene. Ishan, was there something like that for you?
No, actually, that moment is something that we've discussed mutually. Retrospectively, we realized how poignant that was because um, also with the edit and the way the film shaped up, finally, when we shot that scene, it was kind of done in a hurry, and it was a small moment, but it's so profound when you watch it. I actually wouldn't say that there are any scenes that the audience has missed because it's been so lovely to see the level of detailing and nuance that people have been catching on to and running back to us with and talking about and highlighting. So it's been very reassuring, really beautiful. But there is one moment in the film that comes to mind when you ask this, which is one of my favorite moments, is in the last chapter of the film when you see the final walk home. They go to this village looking for water, and there's a lady that comes and gives it to them, and there's it's again a moment in silence that speaks volumes, where you can really feel the sound of silence, like Vishal said. And the beauty of that scene is when she gives us the water and walks away, and Vishal's character Chandan, he relates to it in the same vein as his mother, and and the camera slowly kind of tilts down, and you see the cracks on her heels as she walks away. That moment still gives me goosebumps every time I watch it, and something about the way that it was shot, something that is inexplicable about the way it was captured, ma- makes you feel delirious. It makes you feel the same delirium that the characters are in. It almost puts you in their heads. Like you
Yes.
said, you feel like you lived it with the characters, and I think that's the genius and uh, a testament to Neeraj's craft in filmmaking at
It's
the same
absolutely
time.
magical. I think this team is such a super team. And just even as an Indian person abroad, I'm so happy that a story like this is out there to showcase what can come out of the country and the love for it. So, you guys both came to Los Angeles. What was one fun thing that stands out to you that you did here while you were visiting?
The hike, bro?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, that was
Hike.
Palm Springs.
Oh.
Yeah, and we also did that ATV bike, ATV
Oh,
Yeah,
bike. That
fun.
was also fun.
we
Okay.
went quad biking, and we managed not to come out of it with broken bones. So we were coming down hills.
The
That's the
sad
best
thing is
part.
he always wins. I don't know how.
What's a one must-have snack on set?
Vishal's theplas. Definitely.
It's Defli. It's a Gujarati homemade dish. We call it Defli.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you are asking about onset, right?
On set, yes.
On set.
Onset was this thecha, na?
Yeah, that wasn't a snack. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
spice. Snack we used to
Um,
have on set. I think,
Like for
you
you.
know, on Indian sets, you'll see chana, roasted chana a lot.
Okay.
hmm.
And
Chana
chai.
and like peanuts and chai. Yeah, chai. For me personally, it's coffee. I've for the last few years I've become a bit of a barista. So the
Oh,
one thing that I must have that I carried on this set also is my coffee machine. And eventually, what happens on my sets is that people start coming to me for coffee. So
I
I
love
become the
this.
coffee supplier. So like
Ish-
you have to make the day. There are many scenes you have to reach set on time, but I also have to reach set with 4 cups of coffee. So
Hilarious. That's why you
You
said
know,
you made good
he
coffee.
makes really good coffee and he's very good at ordering it also. So what happens is whenever I go with him and he orders, so I just have to say copy paste, like just do two. I don't
And
know what to
जो
order,
भी
so
देना
just
दो
copy
देना
paste. जो भी देना दो
so
देना.
next time अपना barista साथ में लेके आना. Bring your coffee machine to LA.
Gotcha.
Who's likely between the both of you to sleep in between takes?
Between
Oh,
takes,
Hmm.
between the-
between takes, neither of us, but he's definitely a much better
I,
napper.
yeah, I sleep more.
What's something that you need, absolutely must have when you travel?
Well, we've had many we've had many flights together on this trip, and I think he knows how cranky of a flyer I am. I'm very restless. I need to be up and walking around
Oh,
uh, and do those long haul 12-hour flights without needing to move. So I think electrolytes you should carry. Stay hydrated. Hydration is
Mhm.
key.
But and whenever I travel out of India, I always carry thepla.
Yeah.
That is one typical Gujarati thing, and everyone enjoys it, and that can sustain for longer periods. So that, and I also bring carry with me mala
hmm.
and Ganpati ji ka murti and one Gita ji. Uh, so
That's so sweet.
I feel very safe when I have those things with me.
I
Oh,
just want to say we're often asked this question. It's like a repeat question. Like if you were stuck on an island, what would you take with you? And I think the perfect answer is thepla
Tepla.
because
Hey,
it
you'd
will
survive.
sustain us
You
long
would.
enough.
Definitely.
You'd
Hopefully.
survive and have enough food, and you don't have to refrigerate it, right?
Yeah,
Chalta
it's the only sustaining food.
hai. And lastly, if you could hang out with one Hollywood personality, an actor or actress, who would you want to spend the day with?
I recently had the good pleasure of hanging out with Mr. Coleman Domingo, and he's
Oh,
just he's so lovely, and really felt like, in his words, felt like meeting a brother from another mother. So I would definitely love to spend a day with him and hang out and just talk about life.
For me, it would be Leonardo DiCaprio.
ah.
I've seen his film, so we'll talk about it.
And he's been to the Taj Mahal and has a whole thing with India too, because his stepmother is a practicing Sikh. So
Hmm.
he's a fun one. Well, listen, guys, I've already taken up so much of your time, and I'm so grateful. I appreciate both of you, and much luck and success, continued success. And we're rooting for you guys to hopefully see you here at the Oscars. So thank you
Yeah,
both,
thank you.
and brilliant work. Congrats on Homebound. Truly a beautiful
Thank
Thank
you.
film.
you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so